So hey guys, welcome back to Accelerated Investor. Hey, this is Josh. And in this solo cast, I'm going to describe for you this brand new 80 unit apartment building that we just bought, but I'm going to specifically dial in to what are the 6 main divisions or departments for you to grow and scale your rental portfolio. I'm going to walk you through the 6 main divisions, main departments of my business and who's responsible for each department, including the departments I'm responsible for, and what is the job description of each department within your business so that each person can kind of divide and conquer. Everybody knows what they're responsible for, what their swim lanes are. And so you can grow and build a really scalable management team, a really scalable portfolio where you're not just ripping your hair out like, a bat out of hell with your hair on fire, trying to do everything by yourself. So in this podcast, if you're looking to build a cleaner, better management system for how you're going to handle your rental properties, your rehabs, and your commercial apartment buildings, you're going to love this discussion, this solo cast, just me describing the 6 main divisions or departments of my commercial apartment portfolio. Take a listen. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome to the Accelerated Investor Podcast with Josh Cantwell. If you love entrepreneurship and investing in real estate, then you are in the right place. Josh is the CEO of Freeland Ventures Real Estate Private Equity and has personally invested in well over 500 properties all across the country. He's also made hundreds of private lender loans and owns over 1,000 units of apartments. Josh is an expert at raising private money for deals, and he prides himself on never having had a boss in his entire adult life. Josh and his team also mentor investors and entrepreneurs from all over the world. He doesn't dream about doing deals. He actually does them, and so do his listeners and students. Now sit back, listen, learn, and accelerate your business, your life, and your investing with the Accelerated Investor Podcast.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hey, Josh Cantwell here. Welcome back to Accelerated Investor. And listen, I just sat down in my home office. We did get rid of our corporate office. I just sat down in front of my computer and I wanted to really shoot this quick podcast and this quick video for you guys. I just left an 80 unit apartment building that we just bought. We now have over 2,700 units of apartments, and this is on my mind, this topic, and so I wanted to just quickly debrief and talk to you about it. And so the title of this is basically Divide and Conquer. And what I mean by that is as you grow your real estate investing business, whether it's commercial or residential, whether it's apartments or single family homes, you've got to divide and conquer in your business in order to scale. And so what I want to talk about with you today is the 6 divisions or the 6 departments that we use in our business to grow a massive portfolio and to be able to scale that business without ripping my hair out. Okay. So the 6 departments or divisions, whether it's residential or commercial, whether it's residential single family homes, 1 to 4 units, or it's apartments, looks like this. We have 1 department or division that does nothing but raise capital. We have a 2nd department or division that does nothing but property acquisitions. We have another department or division that does capital improvements or Capex, whether it's rehabbing for single family homes and rentals or whether it's capital improvements for commercial properties and apartments. The 4th division is management and maintenance, okay, which includes leasing and regular tenant inquiries. The 5th department or division is budgets and projections, okay? A lot of forecasting. And then the last division is the books and the cash, the accounting, okay? So let me talk about each one of these divisions for a minute and how we broke up our business. And I'm going to use this recent case study. We just bought an 80 unit apartment building. We just bought a 16 unit apartment building. We just bought 18 units of single family homes, which are actually not single families. They're duplexes, they're quads. They're 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, four doors. And so we just bought in the last really 4 or 5 months, we just bought 118 units. We've also got a 96 unit that we're offering on. We got a 52 unit that we're offering on. We also just had 530 units that hit my desk in the last 48 hours. I just went to see a 155 unit that we're going to offer on. We just offered on a 112 unit. So when you look at it, like, there's no way I could manage 1,000 units by myself. We now own over 2,700 units of apartments. So the question is, well, how do you do that? If you're a new investor, maybe you have 50 units or 100 units and you want to scale to 1,000 units or 3,000 units or more, how do you do that? Okay. So you break it down into these 6 divisions, which I just mentioned. Let me talk a little bit deeper about each division and how you need to break up your business. Now, the reason why I love commercial apartments and even single family rentals, but at scale, large numbers, is because the numbers are big enough that they allow us to hire multiple people, and each person gets to be the expert in their department, the expert in their division. Okay. So let me start with cap raise. So cap raise, to me, I'm the lead on cap raise, okay? Which means my job in that department, not only as the CEO and majority owner of my companies, but also my job is to raise money, to build relationships, and to build marketing and sales funnels that bring in new capital raise leads, people that want to invest in our deals, okay? To build a funnel, to build an automated sequence that allows people to opt in. And then when they opt in, they get an automated sequence of emails, text messages, and videos that builds the relationships for me while I'm sleeping or while I'm at the beach. It also includes we use a program called Profit Pro, which means that's where all of our investors opt in. And when they opt in, they get to see the back office where they get to see our deal flow. So the front end sales and marketing acquisition of new passive investors falls in the cap raise category. It also includes the updates. So it also includes our quarterly payouts, our quarterly newsletters, our quarterly updates to investors, our quarterly new pictures, new photos, new videos. That's another sort of bucket that's in this cap raise division or department. Then, of course, working with our legal department to do the private placement memorandum, editing the private placement memorandum, making sure that everything is included in there, the subscription agreements, the operating agreements, or everything that goes into the legal side of raising money, making sure that we have our 506B or our 506C. And then, of course, our cap raise webinars. So it includes the email copy to invite investors to our webinars. It includes the headline and the landing page where people register for our cap raise webinars. And then it actually includes the actual deck, the PowerPoint deck, to pitch our deals. Okay? So by splitting this up into divisions or departments, it allows me to own the cap raise division. Now, we also have a support team. A support team includes my other staff, my other team, my other partners who help me in this department. So this includes Glenn Lytle, my business partner, includes Jen Pennington, my director of operations, includes Roberto Flanders, my CFO, and it includes our securities attorneys. Okay? So that's the first division or department, the cap raise department. So we got to raise capital. We got to manage the capital. We have to make it a good experience for investors. Okay? Number 2, let's move to the second department, the second division. Second department, second division is the property acquisitions. Now, in this department, our lead in my business is my partner, Tyler Brummett. Tyler is on a daily basis looking at deal flow, talking to brokers. He's responsible for procuring new property acquisitions. Okay, so let's talk about some of the responsibilities. If he's the lead, if Tyler's the lead of that division or that department, what are his responsibilities? Well, includes broker relationships with both residential and commercial brokers. It includes relationships with wholesalers. It includes looking for deals that are maybe even on the market. Could be the MLS. It could be auction.com. It could be Zillow. It could be HomePath, Home Steps. It could be auction.com. It could be Hubzu. It could be commercial brokers. It could be LoopNet. All these different places that you can go find deals. It also would include direct mail, websites, door knocking, cold calling, all these various things that go into property acquisitions. Now, again, my business is focused on today value add multifamily deals. So we wholesale for quick cash, but we also buy and hold for big profits. That's what I'm most excited about is these big profit deals. Like the 80 unit I just left, we're all into that for $4.4 million. It's going to be worth $6.2 million by the time we're done with our value add improvements and raising the rents. So Tyler, as the lead of the property acquisitions division, is also, so he's responsible for all the acquisitions, but he's also responsible for broker relationships with multiple different commercial brokers and residential brokers. He's responsible for evaluating deals and submitting letters of intent, making offers, the due diligence to make the proper offer. So working with our lender to evaluate a deal, to look at things like CoStar, to look at our deal evaluation tools, using Accelerated Investor Office for our residential deals. He's also responsible for lender relationships to see which lender will help us close that transaction. He's responsible for making sure we secure insurance. He's also responsible for writing the purchase and sales agreement, negotiating the purchase and sales agreement. And then once we have the property under contract, acquiring all of the due diligence documents. So rent rolls, historic, cash flow analysis, profit and loss statements, income statements, all those different kind of things. And then getting an inspection done. So commercial inspections, residential inspections, or due diligence inspections, getting through the due diligence period. Okay, is also responsible for earnest money. Now, the earnest money is raised during the cap raise, which is my department, and then Tyler's responsible for deploying the earnest money. That's the second division, is property acquisitions. Now, in my business, again, Tyler takes the lead on procuring deals. I back up Tyler. I'm very involved in property acquisitions. Actually, this week on Monday, I was down in the Columbus and Cincinnati markets looking at a 155 unit. We just went to see a 52 unit. We're about to go look at a 96 unit. We look at properties every single week. So Tyler's the lead. I'm his backup support, and so is my partner Glenn, a backup. Are you ready to automate and explode your real estate investing? We're searching for extremely motivated individuals who are sick and tired of wasting time and want to finally see real results from their real estate investing business. We're searching for investors looking to get to the next level and become a bigger, better version of themselves while being a more successful real estate investing entrepreneur. Apply for mentoring and coaching at joshcantwellcoaching.com/podcast. That's joshcantwellcoaching.com/podcast. Then you move to the next division, which we talked about earlier, which is Capex, this is your rehab department. This is the department that handles your capital improvements, whether it's rehabs on small single family or duplexes or quads, or it's large capital improvements on large apartment buildings. So in this department, the lead in our business, his name is Tim Roth, and Tim is our senior rehab project manager. Okay. So Tim is responsible for everything from pricing, buying, contractor relationships, subcontractor relationships, budgeting, scheduling, ordering materials, staging materials, doing full unit turns, bringing in general contractors, subcontractors, making sure that they're on the job, they're on time, they're on budget. Making sure, again, if you're turning over an 80-unit apartment building like we are, you got to have a plan in advance for how you're going to manage every 30 days. So we know, as I record this, it's late October 2020. In November and December, we have a plan to turn 7 units. Okay, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas. So we're going to run up against vacation time and people out with the holidays. Okay, so we're going to turn 7 units. We know exactly which 7 doors, the exact unit numbers we want to turn over the next 60 days. We know if they're 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, or 1 bedrooms. We know the square footage, and we have a budget for each unit. Okay. We know exactly how much square footage we're turning and what's the budget. Then we have another plan for January and February. In January and February, we have 11 one bedroom, one bath properties. Okay. 1 bed, 1 bath properties that are a little bit smaller. They're 500 square feet. And so 11 of those is about, 5,500 square feet. And the budget for that 11 is about $80,000. Okay. It's about $7,500 per unit times 11 units. So we got a plan for January, February, which units we're turning, what's the budget per unit, what's the square footage. And then the contractors know when we're going to need them. Then we got another plan for March and April. Okay. So we have a lead on that, which is Tim. Now the backup to Tim is Tyler. Tyler handled property acquisitions. Tyler is very familiar with capital improvements. Tyler obviously owns a lot of units on his own, a lot of units with me as a partner. So Tyler is his backup. Then we've got our on-site 1099, our on-site guys that support Tim. They're full-time employees of ours, or full-time, basically guys that work for us full-time. And they're available on the job every day. So that's the third division, the third department, which is Capex. You notice how we have a lead and then we have a support team for each department or division. The fourth is once the capital improvements are done, now we're going to put the unit in service, okay, in service. And once the unit's in service, that means it's for rent. It's been improved. It's got all new cabinets, countertops, appliances, flooring, paint, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's ready to be leased. Okay, so our fourth department or division is management and maintenance. Okay, this is actually led by Vanessa. Vanessa is responsible for taking the lead on leasing every unit and maintaining every unit. Okay, so she's responsible for tenant management. She's responsible for making sure the common spaces look clean, they're painted. She's responsible for collections, evictions, any kind of utility turnovers, water and sewer. She's responsible for tenant turnovers. We use a program called Buildium, a software program called Buildium, where all the tenants can go online and they can make their payments online. And in Buildium, they can make their payment online. They can also submit a tenant inquiry if anything needs to be fixed in their unit. Okay. Vanessa is also responsible for operations like the internet access, phone access, security access, the security cameras, and the laundry. Okay. Laundry income. She's responsible for all that. It all falls under management and maintenance. Okay. Now, Vanessa has a support team. Okay. She's got Leonard, who's our full-time maintenance guy. She's got a guy named Roy, who is a part-time maintenance guy that's kind of there whenever we need him. Vanessa also has access to our attorney who handles evictions. And she's got another maintenance guy at one of our other properties, that kind of services our properties in the Akron-Canton market, because we own a lot of properties in the Cleveland market, and then we have a bunch of properties in the Akron-Canton market. Okay, so she's got a maintenance team in the Cleveland area. She's got a maintenance and management team in the Akron-Canton area. Okay, so that's the fourth division. The fifth division is budgets and projections. Okay, so now you got to have somebody who is really good at looking at numbers. Okay, this is my partner, Glenn Lytle. And that person is responsible for looking at the original pro forma. When we look at a property, we get the pro forma, we get the numbers, we get the income statements, the rent rolls, the expenses from the seller. We put that into a current pro forma, like what does things look like today? What's the current income? What's the current expenses? Then you look at, okay, what should the building be operating at today without doing any capital improvements? If it was just operating at pro forma based on the current status of the building, the current look and feel of the building, what should things be renting for? Then we have a second pro forma that shows after the capital improvements are done, what should the units be rented out for? Let's say they should bump the rents by $100, $200 per month per unit. What does that look like? So Glenn handles a lot of our forecasting. looks at the rent rolls, looks at the unit mix, and says, hey, we could bump the 1 bedroom, 1 bath by $140. We could bump the 2 bed, 1 bath by $55. We can bump the 3 bed, 1 bath by, $150. And we look at those numbers and we say, okay, where is the biggest value? Where's the biggest bang for your buck? So on this 80 unit deal, what we decided was the biggest rental increase opportunity was in the 1 bed, 1 bath. So we're going to spend most of our money there. After the 1 bed, 1 bath, the next biggest increase in rent is the 3 bed, 1 bath. Then the least amount, the unit mix that has the least amount of potential rental increase is the 2 bed, 1 bath. So we're going to hit those last. Okay. So when you have somebody responsible for that 5th division, which is budgets and projections, they can do forecasting. They can look at the actual income statements, the actual revenues, the actual expenses, and compare those against where do we need to be. And then finally, budget or department number 6 is the actual accounting. The actual accounting. Because when you own an 80 unit apartment building, you own another 16 unit, then you own another 216 unit, then another 164 unit, then a 492 unit, then a 730 unit. You own all these apartments. Someone has to be looking at the P&L, the balance sheet, the rent rolls, the tax returns, making sure that the investor payments go out on time, making sure if you collect, like we collect all of our rents inside of Buildium, and then we export all the income and the expenses out of Buildium and put them into QuickBooks so that QuickBooks can be given to the CPA so the CPA can do the year-end tax returns. Okay? So the actual day-to-day accounting, the day-to-day books needs to be done by a separate person that does nothing but that. Could be a bookkeeper. For us, it's our CFO. His name is Roberto Flanders. And so Roberto takes the lead on that. And his backup is Hank, who is our CPA, and Glenn. So Glenn does the budgets and projections, but then Glenn also is the backup to Roberto to look at the actual books, look at Buildium, look at QuickBooks, and making sure we're recognizing all the expenses in the proper categories. We're recognizing all the income in the proper categories and making sure that the actual accounting is going to tell us a story about how the building is performing. Okay? So Department of Division 1, cap raise. I'm the lead on that. Property acquisitions, that's number 2. Tyler's the lead on that. Number 3 division is Capex. Tim is the lead on that. Management and maintenance, Vanessa's the lead on that. Budgets and projections, Glenn is the lead on that. And the accounting, Roberto's the lead on that. Notice that nobody has, on my team, none of us have more than one department or division. Now, we might be in a support role in other departments and divisions. So I'm in a support role for budgets and projections. I'm in a support role for Capex. I'm in a support role for property acquisitions. But what I'm 100% responsible for is cap raise, is raising capital from private investors for our deals. Okay? Glenn might be the lead on budgets and projections, but Glenn also helps with cap raise. Glenn also helps with property acquisitions. Glenn also might help with the books and the accounting, but he has one department or one division where he's the lead. Okay, now what this has allowed us to do as we acquire more buildings and acquire more properties is each person's gotten really good at their department, their division, but they also know that they have a backup and who they can go to for backup. Okay. So as you build out your business, whether it's, again, a big single family rental portfolio, 1 to 4 units, or whether it's a large commercial apartment portfolio, I would highly encourage you to think about those different departments and divisions and what people are responsible for and how you can kind of rip off and duplicate what I just described in your own business. So, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that discussion about the 6 main divisions or departments of our commercial apartment portfolio. It's really helped me be able to build a nice, pretty large, pretty impressive portfolio, frankly, without having to rip my hair out, without having to work 80 hours a week, without losing sleep. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please go into wherever you check out your iTunes, wherever you check out your podcasts, wherever you check out your podcasts, including iTunes, and leave us a 5-star rating and review. If you see this on YouTube, you see this on video, leave us a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the red subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, so every single time we release another video or another podcast that you're notified and you don't miss out on any of this amazing content that we're releasing. Also, if you're looking to build a bigger, better portfolio, go visit joshcantwellcoaching.com and opt in for a free one-on-one strategy session so we can work with you and find out what your goals are, whether it's single-family rehabs, whether it's single-family rentals, whether it's wholesaling or building a large commercial apartment portfolio. We can help you do that through our one-on-one coaching programs. Go visit joshcantwellcoaching.com, gather more information. Guys, it's free to apply. It's free to learn more. So you'd be crazy not to take us up on that free 15 to 30 minute strategy session. joshcantwellcoaching.com. Don't forget. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe to catch all future episodes. Wherever you check out your podcast, wherever you get your videos, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. We'll see you next time. Take care. Hey, Josh here, and do you want to win a free Accelerated Investor t-shirt? All you have to do is give Accelerated Investor, our podcast, Accelerated Investor, a rating and a review on iTunes, okay? Do that now. Then send us a screenshot on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. What we're going to do then is every week we're going to pick our favorite rating and review, and we're going to send that person a free t-shirt and maybe, again, some other cool, fun stuff as well from Accelerated Investors. So, again, don't forget to take a screenshot. Leave a rating, review, take a screenshot, send it to us so we know exactly who you are. And then once a week, every week on the podcast, we will announce a new winner. Don't forget to take a screenshot and send it to us so we know exactly who you are. We'll announce a new winner every week.
You've been listening to Josh Cantwell and the Accelerated Investor Podcast. Leave a comment on our iTunes channel and let us know what you want to learn next or who you'd like Josh to interview. While you're there, give us a 5-star rating and make sure to subscribe so you can be the first to hear new episodes. Follow Josh Cantwell and his companies, Strategic Real Estate Coach and Freeland Ventures, on all social media platforms now, and stay up to date on new training and investment opportunities. To start your journey toward the lifestyle you've always dreamed of, apply for coaching at joshcantwellcoaching.com.